皆さん、こんにちは。シンプソンです。
皆さん、こんにちは。ひよりです。
Today, we are looking at the plain form or dictionary form of verbs. In Japanese, virtually all grammar stems from the verb in either its mas form or te form or plain form. So ticking off plain form today is very exciting because virtually all grammar stems from those three forms of the verb. But what is the plain form or the dictionary form? When Japanese people talk to people they know well, such as friends and members of their families, they usually do not speak in polite form, using des or must sentence endings. For example, how you've been learning Japanese so far. Instead, they speak using what is called plain form or dictionary form. Part of speaking Japanese well is being able to judge when to speak using polite form and when to speak using plain or dictionary form. The plain or dictionary form is also required to create more sophisticated grammar. So in this way, it serves two purposes. As we look at some verbs and their polite forms versus their plain forms, always remember that verbs will fall into one of three categories: Group 1, Group 2, and irregular. Group 1 verbs are easily identified by having an I sound before mas. So for example, to listen, kikimasu. Group 2 verbs are easily identified by mostly having an e sound before mas. So for example, tabemasu. Irregulars are almost always the same three verbs: shimasu, arimasu, and kimasu. Do, to exist, and to come. So let's start with past tense in the positive. In polite form Japanese, past tense is signified by a mashita ending. For example, kikimashita, listened. In plain form, it is signified by a ta ending. Creating this ta form of the verb is the same as creating the te form. You just change te to ta. So, Group 1 verbs are governed by these modifications. Bought, kaimashita, becomes
買った、
stood, tachimashita, becomes
立った、
sat, suwarimashita, becomes.
座った、
So these first three examples, an I sound before mashita, chi and ri sounds before mashita, the I, chi, and ri all become ta. These next three also share the same modification. Played, asobimashita, becomes
遊んだ、
read, yomimashita, becomes
読んだ、
died, shinimashita, becomes.
死んだ。
They all share the same modification. Dropping off the mashita, bi, mi, and ni become nda. In the case of listened, kikimashita becomes
聞いた、
and swam or yogimashita becomes.
泳いだ。
So it's the same as te form, just changing te to ta. Ichiri become ta. Bimini become nda. Ki becomes ita and gi becomes ida. Group 2 verbs simply change mashita to ta. So for example, ate, tabemashita, becomes
食べた、
and went out, dekakemashita, becomes,
出かけた、
which just leaves our three irregulars. Did, shimashita, becomes
した、
came, kimashita, becomes
来た、
and there was, arimashita, becomes.
あった。
So that's your past tense positive plain form. Remember, it's the same as te form, just change te to ta. じゃあ、これで終わりましょう。We'll leave it there. またね。
またね。